Hello everyone, this is Kitsu Ronin, aka Sir Rob, and I'm here with another Arena Assault video. So this first match, there's some scary units there. There's Ninja Lin, using the same lead team as last week. Felix actually does a great job at dealing with New Year's Peony, despite the weapon or the color disadvantage, and the rest of the match is actually pretty easy due to the enemy constantly rallying itself, so they don't really advance too much, so it's sort of easy to pick them off one by one. Ideally, I would have wanted that Julia to get into range of Flame Emperor so that he could attack her and hopefully Gale Force out of there, but Ike sort of comes by himself and Felix takes him out, and then I just gang up on Julia. And my Julia actually does more damage than I would have expected her to against this opposing Julia on the defense tile. Yeah, that match was simple given the units involved. And so I swapped my skill sets. Again, because I use preset teams. And this season combination, I did make a lot of changes to my teams since the last water season. So I think it's overall more effective against Legendary Chrom, who is still one of the top threats in the arena meta. So this next team, speak of the devil, there's Legendary Chrom. So Legendary Leaf is there too. So I really want to bring a unit that, a Raven Tome unit. So I bring Picnic Leo. He has Grun Raven on him. This team runs triple Ward Cavalry. So Leo generally does not have much trouble surviving against the water legendaries. So I have him try to tank Legendary Leaf. The Fortress tile is in play, so he actually does a pretty nice job of dealing with Leaf. Chrom's a little more problematic, as you'll see. I can't take him out with Reinhardt. If I try to player phase him with Leo, Leo dies. And you'll see here, Chrom does 0 damage against Leo, but Leo also does 0 damage to Chrom. And that's despite Triangle Adept, but Leo also doesn't get any offense buffs, just because I try to stack his defense as much as possible. He sort of relies on Luna to do any real damage. So I just try to position Leo in a better angle so that Chrom doesn't get the defense tile. And Leo does a lot better against Chrom this time. And in this next turn, I'm able to take Chrom out with Leo. And so this gets taken out by Reinhardt, of course. And it's pretty simple from here. There's just Echidna, and I think, yeah, Erica gets her in one round. Third match, this match, yeah, it's pretty obvious that this is not a fun team to fight against. I try to think of a team that would be good against both Legendary Claude and Valentine's Leaf, who are obviously the two big threats here. Unfortunately, New Year's Peony's range overlaps with Valentine's Leaf, which makes it pretty impossible to snipe New Year's Peony here. Generally, Valentine's Leaf's main weakness is blue tome units, but in this case, I'm not able to think of any blue tome units that would also be good at dealing with legendary Claude. So I think I finally settle on just trying to beat the team with the really overpowered units with my really overpowered units, so I bring Ninja Lin. And basically what I just do is I try to get the enemy closer to me, and then I can just sweep with Ninja Lin. So I just have to pay close attention to the enemy ranges, because Leaf could potentially just reach that bottom row of the map really easily. So I have to bait him to the right side of the map, and I think it takes a little bit of time for me to figure out how to do that, but I eventually get Har over there, and so that makes Leaf go to the right side of the map. So I haven't done my arena run yet this week. The arena assault was the first thing that I did. And if I run into teams like this, I don't think it's going to be a fun time. And also, if I run into Legendary Chrom, it's not going to be fun, because I'm using the team that I led with in Arena Assault for my arena run, because Ike is a bonus unit, and that team doesn't really have a way to deal with a Legendary Chrom very easily. So the enemy team does advance. It sort of advances in an ideal way, which is good. So Lin's able to take out Legendary Claude, which is honestly very impressive. And my Lin is merged once. Actually free-pulled her on the first Ninja banner, or on her first banner, and then she won a Hero Rises, and I was actually on her team, so I was happy about that. I wanted the free merge. I did not want Saros to win, because I didn't want to have to deal with her every single Aetherytes match, and honestly I deal with her 90% of the time anyway. So that plan didn't really end up mattering too much. But the merge on Lin is nice. So Est actually isn't able to kill Leaf here, which is extremely disappointing. I guess since that Leaf has Fury 4, he sort of gets into a speed tier where he doesn't get, 4H KO'd by Est, so I use a Special Blade there. This next match has a New Year's Peony, but she's actually baitable this time, and I go with this team just because it has an archer, and generally archers are your best bet against New Year's Peony. It just takes me a bit of time to think about how to actually get Rolf there. So Titania has, I believe, speed defense link, so I want Rolf to get that. And I have Rolf get repositioned by Shigure, and New Year's Peony actually ends up surviving, which is kind of disappointing, but thankfully Rolf survives. And he's able to kill her in the player phase, of course, and poor Legendary Self, he's not going to be doing much here. My Shigure is actually built as a tank. At one point he was one of my arena core units, but unfortunately he doesn't really score as high as I want him to anymore. Which is okay, I have a new core, so if we ever get the dual flying 4, there's not really a need to give it to him. And saw there that a GTS trade was completed. I've been playing Pokemon a lot, and I don't have Sword and Shield, so I've been trying to get the DLC legendaries from there through Pokemon Home, and I was actually able to complete it because I just played the games that I had over again and got more legendaries, and I used them to trade for the newer legendaries.
Shall we go?
Mostly.
There's candy, right?
And I completely forgot to talk about the rest of that match. But you saw that Julia wasn't really that much of an issue, and Soth obviously isn't an issue. That team probably is probably the same team that person used during Soth bonus week. And this team, it's honestly not that bad. It's just a typical legendary Chrom Azura team. So I tried to use Faye here. This is one of the teams that I did not have the last water season. I was using Halloween Niles and Faye on water season before, but this time they have different teammates. So what I tried to do here, I tried to just have Faye kill Legendary Chrom on the Fortress tile and then try to bait Azura with Halloween Niles. And I sort of do a stupid play here. Even though Faye has more HP than Chrom, so she gets Fire Boost, and she has Triangle Adept. Because this Chrom has, I believe it's Dirty Impact, she unfortunately does not get the kill because she can't double him with Quick Riposte. And because I was foolish and I had Sarah adjacent to Faye, Azura used Wings of Mercy and got her in one round. So if Sarah was not adjacent to her, then Azura would have attacked Niles, and that would have made the match a whole lot easier, and I would have been able to win it, most likely. And I just wanted Sarah to have... I wanted her to use that as support that she has with Faye. But I should have just had her one space, or 2 spaces away from Faye. So this team is... It's honestly... It's not that much of an issue. You saw I auto-battled at the beginning just because I wasn't really feeling like trying. So my Ike actually, he doesn't get doubled by this Ike, which honestly is a little surprising because I didn't bother buffing my Ike. I believe the rest of the round is just mostly sweeping with Legendary Julia. Again, since the opposing team uses a lot of dual rallies, they don't advance too quickly. Flame Emperor is actually able to get the kill there, and obviously Idun is super duper weak to Legendary Julia. And I'm actually surprised that my match recorded at all, because we're like 13 minutes in and I had to do my match over. I think if the recording went on like a couple minutes longer, it probably would have failed. So that was fortunate. So again, I adjust my skill sets. And this match, it's pretty simple. Yeah, I use this Flyer Emblem team just because I think Aversa would be pretty effective against Brave Edelgard, who's the biggest threat here. Legendary Elm's also somewhat threatening, but since there's no Dancer, it's really not that big of a deal. So again, this for Legendary Seliph, I use my Fallen Robin to tank him, and he actually takes a lot of damage here. And Fallen Robin doesn't quite get the kill, but obviously any of my units can follow that up. I try to attack Brave Edelgard here, and even though Aversa has Rotter Blade and Triangle Adept and Axe Breaker, she doesn't actually do that much damage against her, which is surprising. Brave Edelgard does have the defense tile there, so that's not
Who dies first?
I guess it's not too crazy. And again, Aversa doesn't get the kill, even though Brave Edelgard does not have the defense tile that time. So I take this legendary Alm out with Morgan.
Quite so.
I reposition them out of there. Unfortunately, female Morgan gets put in a pretty bad position here because I need Aversa to kill that Flame Emperor,
Certainly.
and that sort of blocks Morgan from escaping.
Yes.
Then I need to reposition Shirshi out of there. And then female Morgan basically gets trapped by Brave Edelgard. Aversa's not able to do much damage because she's not getting any buffs to
Minerva,
boost her Rotter Blade.
first. Yes.
Try to
Quite
get Shirsh to do something, or Shirshi.
so. Certainly.
Unfortunately, she's not able to do anything.
Minerva.
Eventually I decide I have to use a special blade.
Shall we?
Still, Shirshi does not get the kill, nor Aversa, but since Morgan's weapon buffs her allies, just have to move her closer to Shirshi, and Shirshi gets the kill. This team has a New Year's Peony, but again, the Peony's snipeable. So I have this Halloween Rolf take care of her again. I think this time he does get her in one round, which is convenient. And again, there's another legendary Salve here, and
Think I'll scare 'em?
he always decreases the difficulty of the defense match quite significantly just because he's so easy to deal with. I have Shigure tank him,
Cigarette. There's candy, right?
and the Kanegas and Julia are sort of annoying because I probably shouldn't have called him that. The Mufasa, he never gets to range that. Well, actually, Julia and Mufasa, they have overlapping ranges for the most part, but I think at a certain point, Mufasa does get out of, because of that forest tile, Mufasa gets
Stay alert.
a little too far from Julia, and then I can just
All right.
bait him with Shigure.
There's candy, right?
And you really don't want to try to player phase Mufasa, so I just try to deal with him in the enemy phase. Thankfully, Shigure is an enemy phase unit. I tried to take out that Julia with Titania, but fortunately, she outspeeds Titania, and Titania also doesn't do enough damage to one-shot her.
Think I'll scare 'em?
Again, this forest tile is preventing Julia from attacking Shigure, and then Shigure is able to take Mufasa out. And then Rolf takes Julia out, which surprised me a bit. I'm surprised he outsped her. This team, it's mostly Armor Emblem, so it's not that hard to deal with. I just bring out my team with Maria and a Dancer, and they do exceptionally well against this. Maria has Pain, so she really simplifies Armor Emblem matches.
I will go.
Fortunately, against some of the higher mobility teams, that doesn't really work effectively as a strategy. But here it's pretty simple. So this duo Ephraim gets killed by my young Azura.
Come on. Stand aside.
Understood.
I think I have to try baiting this Surtur just because he has both Armor March and Armor Boots in play. And honestly, Surtur with Armored Boots isn't
Very well.
really that good of an idea.
Point me at the
Just because Surtur really wants the opponent to be within one tile so that he gets his Sinmara off and his Surtur's Menace off.
Okay.
So I don't really understand why people put Armored Boots on him.
Stand aside.
So I tank him with Ares Darius does... he doesn't do much damage, but he gets Surtur in range of my Maria, who's able to spam Pain Plus and get his HP down.
I will go. Point me a
Darius isn't quite able to get the kill yet. But he's able to kill him when Surtur has 1 HP.
Very well.
And so, again, I spam Pain with Maria. Claire's not quite able to kill Ike.
Stand aside.
Now she is, though.
Understood.
Yes.
And then she gets the Gale Force off. She's not quite able to kill Tiki.
Well,
But with the help of Azura, she's able to
stand aside.
finish the match off. Obama des. So this is another fairly simple team because there's no dancer involved, and I wouldn't say got really lucky this arena assault match because there were legendary Chroms and dancers, but I did also get teams like these that are fairly easy to deal with. So Cecilia impressed me here. She one-shots legendary Alm right off the bat.
Yes.
And so I just attack him, and I get Sylvia to refresh her and get Cecilia back into
Yes.
out of danger. I don't think Cecilia... Yeah, she's not able to kill Effie. So I don't really want to be too aggressive here.
Ready when you are.
I know that Ingrid is extremely
I'll do my best.
powerful. I'm lucky I pulled her.
Who else to dance?
She's able to kill Tiki, and basically, I don't know if that Tiki had armor march or not.
Ready to move?
Honestly, I didn't really bother paying attention, but didn't end up
Ready
mattering.
when you are.
Armor units in the arena aren't really that threatening these days,
Yes.
unless you're Brave Edelgard or I guess Brave Hector. This next team has Legendary Chrom and Peony, just a normal Peony this time. So I try to use my Fae team again, Fae the dragon, and I unfortunately didn't really think it through that much, because I wanted to get both Fae in range of Legendary Chrom and Halloween Niles in range of Peony. But unfortunately, that's impossible to do in one turn with that team setup because Sarah isn't able to use a positioning assist. So what I eventually decide to do is use a Dancer's Veil just to, for the specific purpose of getting Fae into range of Legendary Chrom, which is honestly not the best reason to use a Dancer's Veil, but it is what it is. And I think it just takes a bit of time for me to figure out how to do that. I know this Peony doesn't have Wings of Mercy, so I won't run into the same situation as last time where the Dancer used Wings of Mercy to snipe one of my weaker units. And also this Legendary Chrom, he's running attack speed push, I think, which against my Fae is easier to deal with because then Fae can make use of Quick Riposte.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm really hesitant to using the Dancer's Veil there just because if you're not using it to help you kill a unit, then it just feels like more of a waste.
On it.
And so Halloween Niles gets the kill against Peony, thankfully. Then Fae kills Legendary Chrom. Now if that Peony had a...
Let us fly.
if she was on a defense tile, I'm not sure that that matchup would have gone so well, because I don't think Halloween Niles is fast enough to avoid getting doubled by her. He did have
A hard choice.
attack speed link, so maybe not, but those Peonies can be quite fast. And Sothis and Ike posed a little bit of a problem here.
Leave it to me.
just because Halloween Niles, he's not using Bolt Fighter, so he has trouble dealing with pretty much everyone other than squishy dancers. But thankfully this Anand, I actually gave Anand Carrot Cudgel just because it's easier for me to have her close to her allies, just because her native weapon, it's like Carrot Cudgel except it's for a solo condition rather than being close to allies. And so when I was testing my teams, I found that to be sort of hard to keep active. And thankfully I had a Spring Bartray just sitting there doing nothing, so I felt Anand was a good choice to have the Carrot Cudgel, especially since so many of my other red units have PRFs. And so I am able to take out this Ike with Anand and Niles together. I'm sort of scared of this Sothis because I know she's a really fast unit and I don't want Anand to get killed by her. And then I end up just ganging up on this Sothis. Sarah has Candlelight and I gave it to her years ago. She also has, I think, either Wrathful or Dazzling Staff. I believe I gave her 2 Bridal Limbs. That was when we had significantly less healers. I don't know that I would have done that later in the game's life because we've gotten so many better ones since Sarah, but I do like Sarah. But Candlelight basically allows you to it prevents units from counterattacking, so I'm able to gang up on enemy units pretty easily after using that. And I believe this is the last team. I believe it was an Akka player, and they are for the most part free to play, I think, so you can see that the majority of their team is comprised of free to play units. Ninja Hana, Halloween, Aina, and Itsuki are they are all units in the Grail pool. And since I had it, I just decided to sweep with Ninja Lin because she's really broken. And I think that's the whole match. It was a nice and easy ending to that. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. Again, I appreciate it. Bye.